We are in a bear market. It's not a time where you can just sit back and relax and wait for other people to do stuff. You need to step up and be involved and work on the change that you want to see in the ecosystem. Today we're here to discuss Sandbox, which is one of the projects that we're working on.
The overall idea is to create a place where the ApeCoin community can come, log in, meet other people, and play games with their peers, basically.
We are building the next generation of entertainment by empowering creators through digital ownership.
My name is Dim. I'm an ape. And I'm Metaverse Steward for ApeCoin DAO. So right now we are in Paris at the Sandbox office. I'm not sure many people know, but Sandbox is actually from France. Initially it started back in 2012, I guess, and Sandbox was a mobile game. It was a 2D sandbox builder game, very fun. And then they moved to Web3, I think it was 2018. Yeah, we're in their beautiful offices in Paris. So it started back in March and April. We put up a call to creative studio in the ApeCoin forum. So the goal was to have creative studios from anywhere in the world submit a proposal that we would actually shape with them afterwards to bring as an AIP. The studio that was selected was Swipeback, super cool studio from France doing amazing stuff. They have been awarded like crazy. They worked on experiences for Ledger, so very famous studio with a very good track record. And we are building this ApeCoin experience with them.
At Swipeback, we're a team of gamers, and we like to say that we create experiences by gamers, for gamers. For us, what makes a very good experience is that we want people to get engaged in the story, to feel like they're barely scratching the surface, and there's much more to discover.
The way this experience is tailored, so it's called ApeKeen Playground. ApeKeen is actually the mascot of the ApeCoin DAO. And Swipeback came up with this idea of a massive spaceship with a lot of different parts, etc. Parts that will also feature previous AIPs, also special elements from partnerships such as Alpine and other brands.
What we're trying to achieve is to create a place where future brands and partners can join in and have these opportunities for them to join in a meaningful way and to get really tied into the story of the ApeCoin community.
The Sandbox experience, the way we are designing it, is pretty interesting because of course it will be open to anyone. Anyone will be able to jump in the Sandbox and play the experience. But there will be a lot of content that will be also only for the ape community, for ApeCoin holders.
A project like this implies 10 to 20 people that are going to work non-stop for like 3 to 6 months. So it's really interesting to see how it gets from paper, early drafts. We're going to try to find a story, a compelling story, do some level design, mock-ups and stuff like that.
Je dirais l'univers qui mélange la technologie, le cyber et tout le côté jungle. Je trouve ça plutôt chouette de mixer les deux et d'avoir vraiment cette espèce d'aspect urban jungle mais avec un côté très techno. Et je pense que ça rend le projet assez unique et vraiment cool.
For the very first time, we have this opportunity to bring two very massive ecosystems together in one place. Having a land and an experience in Sandbox is actually the final point of all those discussions that we've had. So to me, it's a very interesting thing to see how other ecosystems will enter our area and will use our voxel art and all our gamified features to create engagement.
Two is around digital ownership. So everything which is created in the Sandbox is basically owned by the creators, meaning that they can sell, resell them. So they own what they do thanks to Web3 and NFTs. We help them with programs, support, incentive. For example, we are running every month game jams, meaning that as a creator, you can enter contests to build experiences with other creators on a specific topics, on a specific game genres, and potentially with any potential IP.
So right now we are actually in the AIP creation process. So writing everything that will be submitted to the community, first for discussion and then for voting to get the budget passed, to get this experience created.
Once this is approved, we're going to build out everything in 3D. So this phase, we call it the blockout phase. And then it's going to be endless testing of all the mechanics. Does this color work? Can we see this object? Is the gameplay fun enough? So this is the QA phase, which is pretty long. It can involve tons of players. We're going to gather all the feedback, and at the end, we're going to polish everything, hopefully for it to release as soon as possible.
I think the biggest challenge on creating this AIP is to have a value proposition, have a scenario, have game loops and storylines that are so strong and actually that people want to come back, and also activate the experience from time to time with special competitions and stuff to actually bring the people back in.
Working with Dim has been flawless for us. I think what is super interesting is the way we continuously co-create, think about his ideas, what is possible on the platform, what we can do together, which is core, I think, to Web3.
Dim is the god. He knew exactly what he wanted. When we chatted with the team, with Dim and everyone involved, it's always straightforward. So then it's way easier to project how to move forward.
I think the biggest challenge in this AIP and maybe in any AIP is to have the community supporting it like in its entirety. It's not possible to have 100% of the votes for. But I do hope that this AIP will get a majority of votes for, because it will mean that the community actually saw the value proposition for them. I was elected by the community. I wasn't hired by the ApeCoin DAO. So my boss is the community. And it's very important when you are actually building projects and stuff to experience and bring common sense. It's the main focus that the whole Web3 space should have right now. Does it make sense? Is the cost worth it? Will the community like that? As a holder, would I love to experience that? My job, our job is basically to come up with a proposition that we deem is the best for the community and for ApeCoin.
In a world where there's so much digital stuff to do, there's only a couple of reasons that you're going to engage with a platform or a community or another. So we're always trying to find a good balance between there's a bit of this for people that are interested into community. If we want to appeal to gamers, it's going to be fun, it's going to be rewarding, and it's always like fine-tuning everything. So in the end, there's something for everyone.
What we want ultimately as a platform, but obviously for the creators, is to bring joy, to bring engagement with the users, make sure that the users are having fun. I think that's the main goal.
ApeCoin is one of the most active community in the world. We see the engagement and the passion most people have when they talk about ApeCoin in general. So here we want to picture this into a game, into a social digital experience as well.
I really hope the community will see the effort that we put into it. We are not saying this is it. We are actually saying, okay, this is a proposal. Before we put it to vote, we would love to actually have your commentary, your comments on it and everything. So feel free to just jump in and provide your feedback. And even if the AIP is voted in favor, all along the process, the creative process and the production process, the community will have a say on everything that we do. There's a lot of ways that will involve actually the community into the process, and that's very exciting. I would just say thank you for electing us. Of course, I guess I'm going to speak in the name of all the stewards, of all the working groups in ApeCoin. We're all super excited and buzzing to work for the community, and we do our best day after day to provide great experiences and stuff for the community. So thank you for that. And yeah, hope you'll have fun in the Sandbox experience.